There's a ticking time bomb in the US economy, and nobody has seemed to notice. The Federal Reserve's main responsibility is to ensure the dollar doesn't lose too much value. One of the ways that money loses its value is through inflation. And what we've seen in the US is high levels of inflation. So the Federal Reserve will have to intervene and increase interest rates, increase quantitative tightening, and control the supply of money to ensure that the dollar doesn't lose too much value. They have to do this because the dollar is the world currency. Oil is traded in the dollar. Lots of countries use the dollar as their reserve currency. Having the dollar as the world currency gives the United States tremendous geopolitical power, and they're not going to let that power slip away. So the Federal Reserve will do whatever is necessary to ensure that the dollar does not excessively depreciate. What does that mean? It's highly likely we're going to see higher interest rates. We know that higher interest rates decrease people's standard of living. This because it increases mortgage payments and makes people who are already in debt even more indebted. As a result, we're likely to see Americans spending less and less and less as they start to feel the pinch. And this is the worst part. So if interest rates are very high and Americans are suffering, who are the only people who can intervene and stop their suffering? Congress. But what do we have going on in November? The US will hold midterm elections this November. All 435 seats in the House of Representatives will be up for grabs. And 35 of the 100 Senate seats will be up for grabs. And there'll be local elections and elections for governors. The Democrats are slightly favoured to win control of the Senate, but the Republicans are slightly favoured to win control of the House. This will lead to deadlock in Congress, because in order for laws to be passed in the United States, both houses have to agree on the bill. If they don't, it has to go to a conference committee to rectify the different bills that they've produced. The law then gets passed to a final vote before it goes to the president for approval. If either house does not agree, they can't pass the law. So if the Senate is controlled by the Democrats and the House is controlled by the Republicans, how likely do you think it is that they'll be able to make policy which mitigates the effects of the recession that will be caused by higher interest rates? Not likely. When half of Congress think that Joe Biden is a great president and the other half think he is a demon or a monster or a liar. And if we look at things really cynically, it's actually in the Republicans' interest to gridlock Congress. If they want to rival Biden for the presidency in 2 years' time with either Trump or more likely Governor DeSantis, then 2 years of economic turmoil gives them a load of material to attack Biden with. This will mean when the Federal Reserve are doing whatever it takes to keep the dollar strong, and Americans are really feeling that bite into their living standards, Congress will most likely be unable to pass legislation to help those people. This could lead to consumer spending in the US collapsing, and businesses that rely on that consumer spending really struggling. It also means that many Americans will face significant economic distress, and this could push them into greater levels of indebtedness and greater poverty. Biden could try and go around Congress and use executive orders, but that would be exceptionally difficult for him to do without the support of Congress. Moreover, the November elections are likely going to lead to a narrative shift. The Republicans are going to be blaming Biden and saying that we're going to go into a recession under his leadership. If people buy into this, then this is going to affect confidence, and confidence is already very low in the United States. And we've said this before on the channel, if confidence is low, that can cause a recession even if nothing's wrong with the economy. I hope I might be wrong. I fear I might be right.